Every time frame that you see on trading view has its purpose. Now what this means is this: if you see the 1 minute time frame, it has its purpose. If you see the 1 hour time frame, it has its purpose. If you see the daily time frame, it as well has its purpose. Likewise, as if you see the monthly time frame, they all have its purpose. Your duty as a trader is to understand the purpose of each and every one of each time frame and use it to your advantage. Now, for example, if you're a day trader, you simply want to understand the time frame that will be for your buyers and the one that will be for your entries. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I often trade, and as well, I'm going to be showing you how I use each and every one of these time frame to understand my bias and as well to know my entry. But before going to that, if you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Divine, and what I basically do on this channel is document how I trade, and I'm going to show you the mindset behind my strategy. If you want to see something like this, I want you to smash the subscribe button. I'll be right back. Now, let's for instance look at USDJPY. I'm going to be analyzing this trade, and I'm going to be taking this trade if market open on Monday. That means whatever I analyze on this pair is likely what I'm going to be taking on Monday. Now remember, you want to understand what you're doing on every time frame. That every time frame has its purpose. The higher time frame has its purpose, and its purpose is to give you the bias of where price is going to or where price is not going to. Right? Now, the lower time frame is simply for your entries and as well to manage your trades. So I'm going to be analyzing this trade now from the high time frame down to the lower time frame, and then possibly take the entry if market opens. Today is Sunday. Now the first I want to do is to go to the daily time frame because I'm a day trader. I want to simply use daily time frame to understand the daily bias to where price is going to and to where price is not going to. So I'm basically going to switch to the daily time frame. Now on daily time frame, I want to understand where price is going to by simply using my support and resistance to understand where price is actually heading to. Now, for me to get the bigger picture, I need to zoom in properly. And if I'm to draw my trend line or my support, I can clearly see that at this point here is a point of support. And at this point here is a point of resistance, right? This point is a point of resistance. That means if price gets to this resistance, it drops. It gets here, it drops. But when price got to this point, it went to the upside, came back, and then moved to the upside. Now, having understood that, I know my bias is that price is on the uptrend. That price is going to the uptrend. That means price is bullish, right? What I want to do now is to use this information and try to make decisions on the lower time frame. But before I go into that, I need to understand where the key levels are, where is price likely going to buy from, or where is price likely going to start selling from. I want to use my key levels to identify those points. And the first point of key level is here. Let me move this one. I'm going to move this trend. Now, the first point of key level is simply this point that price came back to after it broke the support, the resistance. That means this point that price turned to. Let me move this. Let me just do this. Whatever. This point that price turned to support. Remember, that point was acting as a resistance, and price became support at this point here, right? So this point is my first key level. This point is my first key level, and my resistance key level is basically at this point. Now, having identified these key levels, at this point is my resistance key level, and this point is my support key level. What I want to do now is to understand how price went from this point, support key level, to this resistance key level, and how price is moving from this point to this point before we can know where to buy from or sell from. Because even if price is bullish on the daily time frame, we won't just buy. We have to buy from a particular point, and the point where we can likely buy from is simply at the key level, and this point is the point of key level. So basically, an entry on this trade is basically for us to get to this point before we start looking for buy. But because there's no opportunity to buy yet, doesn't mean that we cannot sell. All right. So what I want to do now is understand the market structure that price is doing from this point to this point to know if price is likely going to start going up to the upside or price is likely going to start going to the downside. And I want to just on the 4 hours time frame. Now the 4 hours time frame is basically for you to understand structure, how price is moving. The structure tells us how price is moving, and then we use that structure to make decision to know where price is going to move from or where price is going to come from. Right? Now, if you look close on this point here, if you have to identify how price was moving from this point here, you can simply say that price was giving us a swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, and this point is simply a swing high. So from this point to this point is basically one swing high, and price was simply giving us swing high and swing low. Is that correct? Yes, it's correct. So basically, our interest now is simply what price has done from this point since price got to this point here. How did price move from this point to this point? That's how we know where to buy from, or basically how we're going to do next in the market. Now, for us to identify that, we simply want to identify the zones in this point here. And let's say that this place is a drop, this place is a base, and this is another drop, which gives us a what? Supply zone. So this whole point now is basically a supply zone, right? And now what we want to basically do at this point is this. We want to refine this point to become a point of interest for us to take entries or for us to see if price is going to respect this zone or not, right? Remember, the point where we want to buy from is basically to buy from a key level, and this is the point of key level where we're looking to buy from. And if you look closely at this point, there's a zone at this level here, on this key level here, and this is the zone here. This is the zone here. So basically, our entry or our entry point for a buy is going to be at this point here, and our exit point for a sell is going to be at this point here. So basically, this point acting as an entry point for a buy and an exit point for a sell. What we want to do next now is basically understand what price is doing here and refine this zone to become a point of interest for an entry, or to know if it's going to hold or it's not going to hold. And we want to do that on the 1 hour time frame. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, we want to understand what price that is at this point here for us to know if you're going to continue a buy or you're going to continue a sell. Now, if you look close at this point here, you can clearly see that all price here was this. Price induced and equal lows here, which just means liquidity. And then told us price, gave us signal that price want to buy by simply giving us a swing high, a swing low, and a swing high, and then it failed. So this point now is simply becomes a point of interest caused by a flip zone. And we're going to be identifying this candlestick that appeared at this point here, this dodgy candlestick that appeared at this point here, right? So basically, this point is our point of interest, and if you look closely, price is already at the point of interest. That means ordinarily this point is the point where we should be taking entries from already, but because we did not enter from this point, let us see what price is doing at this point on the lower time frame to basically see if you are going to take a sell from this point, because clearly seeing we are seeing sell opportunity at this point here, right? But before we go into that, I want us to identify a possible exit point on the 1 hour time frame here to see if price induced liquidity that price likely going to come back for at any of these zone here. Now, if you look closely at this point, you can see clearly see that price gave us relatively equal lows at this point here. Price gave us a relatively equal low at this point here, giving us signal that price might likely come back to this zone or price might not come back to this zone. Do you understand? Price might likely come back to this zone. So basically, I want to go to the 15 minutes time frame and understand what price is doing at this whole point to see if we're going to be having a buy or we're going to be having a sell, even if price is a point of interest. Now, on the 15 minutes time frame here, we can clearly see that there's a trend at this point here. There's basically a trend here, and this trend is filled with plenty stop losses on this trend. And if we were to interpret this trend, we can clearly see that simply using basic support and resistance, we're seeing that price was expecting this trend, and at a point, price went below the trend, and price is currently below the trend, and then this gives us again a price likely going to sell to the downside to this point here, right? So basically, our entry now is based on what price is doing at the moment, right? The current price action is giving us what price is giving us is giving us a clarity on what we should do, and what do you want to do? We want to sell, right? And where are we selling to? We want to basically sell to this point here. And before we sell, what are we looking for before we sell? Price has given us every criteria for us to sell. And what are the criteria? First, price has taken out this liquidity equal high that is here. That's the liquidity power of occurred at this point here on the 15 minutes time frame, right? And price is simply heading to the downside. So basically, an entry now is simply for price to continue the sell from this point and possibly target this point as TP1. Stop loss right above this swing here for a stop loss. And basically targeting this place as TP1, which is basically a 1:2 risk to reward. So basically, my entry on this trade now is basically what price is giving to me at this point. That if price come open, I'm looking for sell entry. If price open and price is going to continue to the downside. Now this is not guaranteed, and this is basically how I try to navigate from the higher time frame down to lower time frame to make entries, but it's not guaranteed. The best thing you can keep you safe on this market is to simply apply a very good risk management and be able to manage the trade if the trade start running a profit. I think this will be all for this video. You're going to see me in the next one. Peace.